There are numerous information technologies in use today across various industries and sectors. Among them are networking, cloud computing, database management systems, operating systems like your regular Microsoft operating systems, and also Mac operating systems and Linux operating systems. There are numerous programming languages as well, ranging from Python, Java, C+, to name a few. Mobile technologies as well. We have Android, we have iOS, we have AI and machine learning, we have Internet of Things, we have big data, we have blockchain, and so on and so on. So the question is, how do we protect all these technologies? And that is when cybersecurity comes in. So in this series, we will dedicate it to cybersecurities and roles and skill set that you need to occupy those roles in cybersecurity. And when it comes to cybersecurity, there are various key aspects when it comes to cybersecurity. We have confidentiality, which means ensuring that sensitive information is accessed only by those that are authorized. Another key aspect is integrity. Integrity is basically guaranteeing the accuracy of a data, right? So if I send you an email and you receive the email, there shouldn't be any changes, or no one should be able to change the information that I sent over via email. And we have availability. Availability is basically ensuring that systems are accessible and available when needed. Authentication basically means verifying the identity of a user or a system. Authorization is defining access level or permission for a specific user, right? So you might have multiple users in your system or in your organization, but not everyone would have access to every single data or every single system in your organization or enterprise. We have encryption. Encryption is basically converting data into a code to prevent unauthorized access. That is encryption. We have firewall. Firewall is basically a device or a software that stands between your trusted network and the public internet. So anytime someone wants to access your system, they have to go through the firewall. We have intrusion detection system, which basically is a system or a software or hardware that basically notify the proper personnel if there's any sign of malicious intent in your system, right? That is intrusion detection system. And intrusion prevention system is a system that would prevent or block any malicious task or systems or identifiers that occurs on your network. We also have vulnerability management, and this is one of the biggest roles that you can work in as a cybersecurity specialist. So basically, vulnerability assessment is basically finding weaknesses in your system and find ways to fix it. Right? So that is vulnerability assessment. Patch management. We have so many softwares out there, ranging from Microsoft Office's product, from operating systems, Windows, Mac, from Zoom, anything in between, right? And these softwares need to be patched, right? So there's a sector called patch management, which basically deals with what? How should we patch our systems or devices on our network. Social engineering awareness. One of the biggest weaknesses in the cybersecurity chain is humans, right? So you can have the best technologies out there. You can have the best encryption out there. But if a person or a personnel in your company give a hacker access to all this information, whatever you have in place is useless, right? So social engineering awareness is basically what? Educating users about what? Tactics used to manipulate and get sensitive information. And we have incident response, basically having plans and procedures in place to follow in the event that there's a cybersecurity breach or incident. Monitoring and logging. Anything that happens on your network or on a machine should be monitored and logged so that down the road, if anything happens, we can come back to those logs and then see what happened. So I hear this a lot. Someone will reach out to me and state that I want to get into cybersecurity. But as explained previously, cybersecurity is protecting every single information technologies out there. So there's no one size fits all. So you can't just say, I want to get into cybersecurity and then that is it. No. Which field of cybersecurity do you want to get into? Right? So in this series, we're going to pick every single role that we have in the cybersecurity profession. So we will start with communication and network security. So there's a route, cybersecurity route that only deals with communication and network security. Right? And then we'll move to IAM, which is identity and access management. Right? So that is basically making sure that the people at the organization. So we will start with communication and network security. What is that? These are our critical components of cybersecurity that focuses on ensuring confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data that is being transmitted across network, right? So if you are browsing the internet, right? If you are transferring data from your computer to Dropbox, if you are sending an email, right? So this cybersecurity route deals with communication and network security. And then we would move to IAM, which is identity and access management. This is a component of cybersecurity that focus or deals with managing and controlling access to digital resources within an organization. It ensures that the right individual have the right level of access to resources. Then we would move to security architecture and engineering. And this aspect of cybersecurity focus on designing and implementing security measures to protect systems, network, and data. Right, so those that are involved in designing and implementing security tools and measures to protect systems on the network. From there, we would move to asset security. And in this specific aspect of cybersecurity, focuses on identifying, classifying, and protecting the valuable assets of an organization. What are some of the valuable assets, right? We have physical assets, we have digital assets, we have intellectual properties as well. All right, so this cybersecurity route or path deals with protecting assets. From there, we will talk about security and risk management. This is also a path or a route, cybersecurity route, that deals with identifying, assessment, and mitigating of security risk to protect an organization assets and operation, right? So there's a whole certification route or a whole field of cybersecurity that deals with managing risk. We will then move on to security assessment and testing. This cybersecurity route deals with or involves evaluating the effectiveness of security controls, right? So the controls that are in place, there are roles or professionals that deal with evaluating the effectiveness of those security controls. They also identify vulnerabilities and assess organization overall security maturity level, right? This specific route helps organization understand their current level of security, pain points, right, and weaknesses to take effective action to ensure their defenses. The next cybersecurity route would be software security. We all use software over the internet. We all use software on our local machine. We use software on our phone. Softwares are everywhere, right? So in this specific cybersecurity route, software security, this route or this role deals with practice of best practices when it comes to developing and maintaining software system, right? And it focuses on mitigating vulnerabilities, preventing security breaches, and protecting against malicious attackers, right? So there's a whole field of cybersecurity that deals with protecting softwares. Then we would move to security operations. This part or cybersecurity route deals with detecting, responding, and mitigating security incidents and threats within an organization. So the security operation role deals with personnel that are in the front line that make sure that adversaries doesn't come into our system. So those are the people that work in the security operation field or route in cybersecurity. So yeah, that will be the cybersecurity route that we'll be talking about, right? So we'll start off with just to recap, start off with communication and network security. We will move to IAM, which is identity and access management. We'll then move on to security architecture and engineering. We then move to asset security, then security and risk management. The next one will be security assessment and testing, then software security, and the final one will be security operations. So all these cybersecurity route has its own requirement and certification that you have to have in order for it to work in these specific cybersecurity field, right? So let's avoid using the word "I want to get into cybersecurity," right? There are different route and field in cybersecurity, right? So in this series, get ready. We're going to talk about every single field or roles or path to becoming or getting into this specific cybersecurity field. All right. Stay tuned and see you